Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Learning English with Podcast Conversation. I'm Tony, your host.
And I'm Jenny. It's great to be here again, Tony.
It's always great to have you, Jenny. Today, we have a topic that I think many people, maybe everyone, can relate to. It's about something that happens almost every day to someone, somewhere.
I'm curious. What is it?
Well, have you ever felt bothered, or maybe a little bit angry, because of something another person did or said?
Oh, yes, many times, definitely. I think, yes, many people feel this way sometimes.
Exactly. And today, we want to talk about the big question, how to never get angry and bothered by anyone. Well, maybe never is a very strong word. Maybe it's more like how to feel less angry and bothered, or how to manage it better.
Okay, less sounds more realistic. It's a very interesting topic because sometimes small things can make us feel quite upset. Like someone being very slow in the supermarket line, or loud music from a neighbor.
Ah, yes, those everyday things. So today we'll share some ideas, maybe some personal stories, and tips on how to stay calmer when people or situations bother us. It's not magic, but maybe some simple changes in how we think or act can help.
That sounds really useful. I'm ready to learn, and maybe improve my own patience.
Me too! So Jenny, let's start with the first idea. Why do you think we get bothered by people in the first place? What is it about someone else's actions that makes us feel unhappy or angry?
That's a good question. I think maybe it's because we have expectations. We expect people to act in a certain way, and when they don't, we feel disappointed or surprised in a bad way.
Ah, expectations. Yes, I think that's a big part of it. We expect people to be on time, to be polite, to agree with us, to understand us. And when they are late or rude or disagree, it feels like a problem?
Yes, exactly. And sometimes, maybe we take things too personally. Like if someone gives us negative feedback, we might feel they don't like us, not just our work.
That's a great point. Taking things personally. It feels like their action or words are directly against us, but maybe, often, it's not really about us at all.
What do you mean? How can it not be about us if they are talking to us or doing something that affects us?
Well, imagine someone is very stressed from their job, or they had a bad morning. Maybe they speak to you in a sharp way. It feels like they are angry at you, but maybe they are just angry or stressed in general, and you were just there. Their behavior comes from their own situation or feelings, not necessarily because of you.
Okay, I understand. So the first step is maybe to understand that their action is often more about them than about us.
Exactly. And this brings us to the second idea, changing our perspective. If you can remember that someone's bad mood or strange behavior is probably not a personal attack, it can change how you feel about it.
How can we change our perspective easily? When someone is doing something annoying, it's hard to suddenly think, oh, maybe they had a bad morning.
You're right, it's not always easy, especially in the moment. But it's like a muscle you can train. When something bothers you, try to pause for a second, take a breath, and then ask yourself, is this really about me? Or what else could be the reason for this person's behavior? Maybe they are tired, maybe they are worried, maybe they just don't know any better.
Okay, so try to think of another reason for their action, not just that they want to bother me.
Yes. Or another perspective is to think, this is their problem, not mine. If someone is rude, that says something about them, not about your value as a person. Their rudeness doesn't make you a bad person.
That's a powerful way to think about it. Their actions belong to them. My feelings about myself belong to me.
Exactly. Let me share a little story about this. I was driving one day and another car suddenly cut in front of me very dangerously. My first feeling was anger. Wow, that driver is terrible. They almost hit me. How dare they?
Yes, I know that feeling. Your heart beats fast.
Yes. But after a few seconds, I thought, okay, maybe they are rushing to the hospital. Maybe they are having an emergency. I don't know the real reason. But thinking of these other possibilities helped my anger go down immediately. It wasn't personal anymore.
Wow, that's a great example. You changed the story in your head. Instead of, they are trying to hurt me, you thought maybe they need help or have a big problem.
Right, and it helped me feel calmer. So changing your perspective is a key idea.
Okay, so first, understand it's often about them. Second, try to change your perspective. What's the third idea?
The third idea is about setting boundaries. Sometimes changing your perspective is not enough, or the person's behavior is really affecting you. In these cases, you might need to create some space, or say no.
Setting boundaries. Can you explain that more simply?
Sure. Imagine your personal space is like a small garden. You decide who you let into your garden and what you allow them to do there. Setting boundaries means deciding what behavior you will accept from others and what you won't. And then, kindly but clearly communicating that.
So if someone always asks me for money and it bothers me, a boundary is to say no?
Exactly. You can say no politely, like, I'm sorry, I can't help you with money right now. Or if a friend calls you late every night and it wakes you up, you can say, could we talk during the day? I sleep at this time. It's about protecting your time, your energy, your feelings.
It sounds simple, but sometimes it feels difficult to say no. We worry about making the other person unhappy.
Yes, it can be difficult at first, especially if you are used to always saying yes. But remember, setting a boundary is not being mean. It's being kind to yourself, and often good relationships have clear boundaries. It helps both people know what is okay and what is not okay.
Okay, protecting your own space and energy. Setting boundaries. I have a story about this. I used to have a colleague who complained about everything, all day long. The weather, the work, other people. After talking to her for 10 minutes, I felt completely tired and negative.
Oh, I know people like that. It really affects your mood.
Yes, so my boundary was that I couldn't spend a long time listening to her complaints every day. I didn't say, stop complaining. That would be rude. But I started to politely limit the time. If she started complaining, after a few minutes I would say something like, oh dear, that sounds difficult. Well, I need to finish this report now and go back to my desk. Or, excuse me, I have to make a phone call. I created a little distance.
That's a perfect example of setting a boundary without being confrontational. You didn't try to change her, but you changed your reaction and your interaction.
Yes, it helped me feel less bothered by her constant negativity.
Great story, Jenny. So that's setting boundaries. Now, the fourth idea is related to communication. Sometimes you do need to talk about the problem, but doing it calmly.
Communicating calmly. Not when you are feeling very angry?
Exactly. When we are very angry, we often say things we regret later. Our words can be sharp or hurtful. If you feel angry, it's usually better to wait a bit. Take some time to cool down.
So maybe go for a walk, or just be quiet for a few minutes?
Yes, exactly. Do something to help you relax. And when you are ready to talk, try to use I statements. Instead of saying, you always leave your dirty dishes everywhere, and you make me angry, you can say, I feel frustrated when I see dishes in the sink because I like the kitchen to be clean. You talk about your feeling in the situation, not attack the other person.
I feel is better than you always. Yes, that sounds much softer and less like an accusation.
Much less. When you use you always or you never, the other person usually feels attacked and becomes defensive. They stop listening and want to protect themselves. But if you say, I feel, you are just talking about your own experience. It's harder for them to argue with your feeling.
That's very practical advice. Communicate calmly, use I statements. And if you can't be calm in the moment, wait.
Right. Sometimes waiting means not saying anything at all about a small thing. You choose which battles are important.
Okay, that makes sense. And what is the fifth idea?
The fifth idea is maybe the most important, and it connects to everything else. It's focusing on what you can control.
What we can control. We can control our actions?
Yes. And what else?
Maybe our words? What we say?
Yes. And how we react? How we feel about something?
Yes. We can control our reaction. We can't control other people's actions, or the traffic, or the weather, but we can control how we respond inside.
Exactly. This is a huge idea. You cannot make someone else be polite, or fast, or quiet. Trying to control others usually leads to frustration and anger for you, but you can control your own response. You can choose to breathe, to change your perspective, to set a boundary, or to communicate calmly. You can choose not to let their behavior steal your peace.
So instead of thinking, why is this person doing this to me? You think, okay, this is happening. How do I choose to feel and act now?
Yes, it's a shift from focusing on them to focusing on yourself. And this isn't selfish. It's about protecting your own well-being. When you focus on what you can control, your own thoughts, feelings, and actions, you take back your power.
That makes a lot of sense. It's like you are the boss of your own mind, even if you can't be the boss of other people's actions.
Exactly. And part of focusing on what you can control is also about building your own happiness and inner strength. If your happiness depends completely on other people's behavior, you will be bothered very often. But if you have things that make you happy, hobbies, goals, good friends, simple pleasures, then the annoying actions of others don't affect your whole world so much.
So build a strong, happy life for yourself, and other people's small annoyances won't feel so big.
Precisely. It's like having strong walls around your peaceful garden.
Okay, these are really helpful ideas. Let's review them quickly. First, understand it's often more about them than you. Second, try to change your perspective. Third, set boundaries. Fourth, communicate calmly or wait. And fifth, focus on what you can control, your own reaction and your own happiness.
Perfect summary, Jenny. And I want to add that practicing these things takes time. You won't be perfect immediately. There will still be times you feel angry or bothered. And that's okay.
Yes, it's okay to feel emotions. The goal isn't to be a robot with no feelings.
Right. The goal is to understand your feelings and choose how you respond. So maybe the How to Never Get Angry title is impossible, but How to Get Angry Less Often and Recover Faster is possible.
I like that. Less often and recover faster.
So let's think about the key takeaways for our listeners. What are the most important things they can remember from this conversation?
For me, the first key takeaway is that feeling bothered or angry is a normal human emotion, but you have a choice in how you react to it. You don't have to let the feeling control you.
Excellent point. Your reaction is your power. What's another takeaway?
Another one is about perspective. Try to remember that other people's actions are often not personal. Maybe they are having a bad day, or they are different from you. Try to see it from another angle before getting upset.
That's a great reminder. Give people a little understanding. And the third takeaway?
The third one is to protect your own peace. Set boundaries when you need to, communicate calmly if possible, and focus on building your own happiness. Don't let other people's behavior easily disturb your inner peace.
Wonderful. Protect your peace. That's a beautiful way to say it. So choose your reaction, change your perspective, and protect your peace. These are great steps for feeling less bothered and angry.
Yes, they are. It feels much more positive than trying to change other people, which usually doesn't work anyway.
That's true. Trying to change others is a quick way to get frustrated. Well, Jenny, this has been a really interesting and useful conversation. Thank you for sharing your thoughts and stories.
Thank you, Tony. I enjoyed discussing this topic. I think it's important for everyone.
Absolutely. To our listeners, we hope these ideas help you feel a little calmer in your daily life. Remember, it's a practice. Start with small steps. When you feel bothered, just try one of these ideas. Take a breath, change your perspective, or set a small boundary.
Yes, practice makes progress. And remember, you are learning English at the same time. Talking about feelings and difficult situations is a great way to use new words and phrases.
That's right. Thank you for listening to Learning English with Podcast Conversation. If you like this episode, please tell your friends who are also learning English. You can practice these ideas and maybe talk about them in English together.
Great idea. Practicing the language and the calming techniques at the same time.
Perfect. So practice staying calm, practice your English, and we'll talk to you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone. Stay calm.
Goodbye.